Live from Las Vegas at the GCA show. After 2 years of hiatus, we're back in Vegas. World's largest cardboard trade show booth. Live here in Martinsville, Indiana. Live from Norwood Royal Cigars.
When you guys said, you know, we want you to come on the show once a month, I was like, dude, this is it.
Happy afternoon here from cloudy Florida.
Happy afternoon.
Happy afternoon.
Presented by Kristoff Cigars, along with Hiram Solomon Cigars, and coming to you live from the Corona Cigar Company studios.
Good evening, everyone.
Happy afternoon, everybody.
Happy evening. Just
well, they could be watching it tomorrow.
They could. They could. What about happy morning?
Okay,
You never
yes.
know. But welcome.
Happy, folks. Happy.
Thanks for joining us for another Great Lakes Smoke Show podcast. We've got a wonderful guest tonight. We can't wait to bring him on, and you guys get the chance to learn what he has brewing here. And he's actually a Chicagoan, right in our local area. So we're excited about that. Everybody get the watch party. Send it out there and share the show right now with all you know. Help get us out there. We're in 60.
The show with all you know. This is Romper Room. I kind of love when he says these.
Well, it's
How do
you
don't need to
share. Oh, well. Ryan Miller, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on, guys.
Look at all that reflection. Yeah, it's a shiny head, Ryan. He's got.
I cleaned it up. The oils are not there.
Turtle wax.
It's
Turtle wax.
Yeah.
Why not? Any kind of wax will do at this one. Even beeswax. Why not?
Right.
But anyway, folks,
You know what? I forgot to put on my Great Lakes Smoke Show shirt. You know why? Look at what I'm wearing. Hold on. Tampa Bay. You know, when World Series.
World Series.
Oh,
That's in honor of Tom Brady coming back from retirement, folks. So that's why I'm wearing this shirt, just in case. But when we go to break,
You're going to change, right?
I'm going to change.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
because I look like a pig
You
here.
put the chooch.
shirt on.
In honor of this is our St. Patty's Day celebration. So I am smoking our Alec Bradley Filthy Hooligan here.
Nice. And I am smoking a Don Olivan, the Irishman. Look at that big clover leaf. Nice.
I love it. That is
Yeah.
great.
We are enjoying ourselves. Yes, Brian McGuire, it is cocktail hour, and it starts
But
early.
of course.
Ryan Miller, I do not need to have that wax job. No, we're doing all right up here,
Easy
buddy.
with the wax job.
Hey, Joe, Tom Brady needs to get back to work. He needs to afford gas. You're right.
Yeah.
Ken Dorbright, the Chief, great stick. As well, the Chief is also a great stick.
Exactly.
So we'll get that going. Anyway, everyone, thanks again for joining us. It's been a real hot season for us. Again, 60 countries around the world. Let's make it 61. So get to somebody out in another country and let's bring them aboard. But in the meantime, hang on there. We got a special guest coming on. But Frank, a word from our sponsors.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, There's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
Experience the magic of Rockefeller Cigars today. With 11 years steeped in tradition, passion, and mystery of the leaf, Rockefeller has a cigar just for you. Be like the greatest magicians and make Rockefeller Cigars appear in your lineup with any of our 4 lines. The Nicaraguan, the Dominican Blue, the Vintage Gold, and our new LE, the Art of Magic. DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar.
And we're back. Yes, folks. So just a few of our sponsors. We'll have more coming up during the show. But right now, let's introduce the man. What do you think? We've been waiting for him. The one, the only man out of Chicago himself, Michael Lewis. Welcome.
Let me start off how you guys started off. And I am smoking.
What is it there?
Yeah.
Tell us about that cigar.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Sin is a really cool marca out of the Dominican Republic. Really great story behind it. The owner is a Vietnamese, French, Texan. So he's got this
Wow.
yeah, this really diverse background. But I mean, just a beautiful soul, beautiful person, really creative. So, just a really great story about how he kind of found his way to cigars and, really wanted to kind of create something unique for the market. So he met up with probably one of the most well-respected master blenders in the area. The blender's name is Juan Rodriguez, probably been around 30, 40 years, has his own tabacalera right there in Tamboril. And they came up with this blend. And so they have, this all of a sudden, it kind of sounds like a sales pitch, doesn't it?
Baby, sell it. This is
all of a sudden I'm doing advertisement. I thought
And we still have sponsors on.
yeah, talking about cigars right now,
Yeah.
So, but no, I guess to kind of sum it up, this is a series of 7. So
Okay.
they call it the 7 Deadly Sins.
Wow.
And it's really cool. So the whole story. But at any rate, so it's the 7 Latin version. The Latin version of the 7 Deadly Sins. So Ira, Wrath, Invidia, so forth and so on. But what I really like about it is they did each blend in one individual vitola. So, like several other markets, they'll make a Toro and a Robusto and a Churchill, kind of keeping that traditional thing. Mm-hmm. But what they did is they experimented with each blend in each size. And so they created that one vitola size that blend smoked the best in.
Gotcha.
And I thought that was very, very thoughtful in the creation, because, often like when people pay attention to the ratings that come out, from Cigar Aficionado or Cigar Journal, they don't rate every vitola. They rate that one.
Yep.
And so, when the cigar enthusiast runs down to the lounge to pick that cigar up and they're smoking the Toro, well, they rated the Robusto, it's gonna be a little different.
Right.
So anyway, this is the double Robusto, and I like it because it's a 54. So
Okay.
it's 54 by 5.5. So it's a little bit thicker than your traditional Robusto.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just makes for a really great smoke. So I am smoking this.
Is that more of a medium body?
You know what? Everybody's palate's a little bit different. So, I don't want to, say, oh, it's a full body, and then a mild smoker's like, oh my God, I don't want that. But I'll say my palate for this cigar is a full body experience.
Okay.
So I get a lot of smoke in my palate.
Right.
It's just, it really fills all my senses on the retro and everything. But on the strength scale, I'll say it's probably about a medium.
Gotcha.
It's really good for this time in the later evening. It's not too heavy.
Right.
But it's really great for that after dinner drink. So, man, I'm not doing the advertisement. What the hell is going on?
No, good for that after dinner drink. Speaking of drink, what are you drinking? Orange juice?
Yeah. So don't laugh. This is like one of my favorite things to go to. I don't know if you guys can see
Grapefruit? Yeah.
Stiegel grapefruit. There you go.
Yeah. And so Stiegel, from what I understand, they're like one of the original Radlers. But from what I get, Radler is a lane of beer.
Gotcha.
So it's like a fruit juice and a Belgian ale.
Really?
Wow.
So it's super low on alcohol content. So you could, for me, it's like my juice. Literally, if I get up in the middle of the night, as old people do, and it's like 2:00 in the morning, I will crack one of these bad boys open to wet my whistle. Or in the morning, everybody probably grabs a milk or grabs a little bit of water. I grab a Radler. That's what I do.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And at 4:00 in the morning, you're back in the bathroom. So you go grab another one.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So I gather, let's start about how you got involved with the stick and the Leaf Society.
Yeah. So, I don't have this epiphany story to tell, or how I was wandering in the mountains and this I saw this shiny rock. It's none of that. Right?
Oh man.
So I'm sorry if I'm not going to blow anybody away with my story, right?
It's your story. You can tell us what you want.
Yeah, it's my story. I'm sticking to it.
You got it.
But at any rate, so I was in the Dominican Republic, and I met up with this guy, and I was like, "Hey, man, let me come over to your factory and smoke some cigars." Just like, I don't know you, you don't know me, but we both like cigars, right?
Right.
So he was like, "Well, come on." So I was like, "All right, cool." So I went over to Tamboril and spent 6 hours. And we were just smoking cigars. Never met this guy before in my life other than online.
Okay.
And so just like two strangers, which is really what cigars are all about, right?
That's right.
Bringing people together, being able to talk about whatever. So we're just talking. And as I leave, he's like, you know what? I really am trying to increase my presence in the American market, and I could use some help. And I was like, good luck. Yeah. Because I was in the middle of I wasn't in the middle, but I had just finished up. I was studying for my doctorate degree in entrepreneurial business.
Gotcha.
And so was done with the coursework and was in the stage of doing the research. So I'm like, man, I'm standing on third base for this doctorate degree. I don't have time to do anything but finish this research. But the doctorate degree is in entrepreneurship. And so I had always been kind of looking for an entrepreneurial endeavor, right? And so if you ask the Jeff Bezos of the world and the rich guys of the world that kind of went off their own thing, they're always like, well, do what you love and follow your dreams, and you kind of hear all that stuff, right? And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see if that's for real. And I always loved cigars, been smoking cigars for a long time, and had a little background working in a couple of cigar lounges. part time to support the habit. It's
Yeah.
it's better than standing on the pole at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? I'm not sexy enough to take off my clothes, right? Some kind of way you gotta afford this habit, okay? Some kind of way you gotta afford this habit. So I had some background. I'd been smoking for 15, 16 years, so kind of felt like I knew something about cigars. And I said, you know what, I could continue to pay someone to teach me about entrepreneurship, or I could just dive in. So that's what I did. I went back home to Chicago. I started doing some research, started talking to I went back to Dominican Republic. I started talking to some other factories and started to kind of learn what some of the pain points were, what some of the challenges were. And I was like, you know what? I think I can do this, And I had a conversation with and I guess the whole thing about my story, we'll continue to talk. Meeting people, talking to people, learning from people is what feeds it, and that's really how you get to hone and learn and you kind of figure out where your lane is and what you want to do. So I applied for my import license. I'm ready to go, and I had a conversation with Maurice Cox, and I don't know if you guys know Maurice. He owns Enter Cigar. Just a humble guy. Been in the game. I call him an OG.
Mhm.
So he's been in the game for years. Has a tremendous factory right by PDR. And again, I just pop up on this guy. I don't know this guy. He doesn't know me. But he's like, you know what? If you wait around long enough for me to finish up my day, I'll sit down and talk. And he visited with me for probably 3 hours.
Wow.
And just gave me so much information. And I have visited him since then. But he really kind of helped me understand some of what it takes to be in this business. So that's kind of like the first layer of the sandwich, so to speak, on how the Leaf Society came about.
And that kind of led you to the idea of actually having an online presence and giving these factories a way to market independent of trying to get them into brick and mortar, because obviously that's difficult without having a pretty healthy sales force. So that was your kind of lane that you decided was actually made the most sense, correct?
Yeah. So, the strength of the internet and e-commerce, now in our decade, if you don't do it that way or implement it in some form,
right,
you are missing the bus.
Right.
So the strength of it now, just from the consumers, I will say this: the B2B, so the retail owners, the lounge owners, they're probably not quite as adaptive or receptive to that modality of commerce yet to receive their products, right? But that's just because the traditional distribution network has always been hands-on.
Right.
It's always been the sales rep covering the territory, making the phone calls, that sort of thing. But for the B2C, if you don't have an online presence, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
So for us, we really consider ourselves as an access point to the marketplace.
Gotcha.
For tabaculeros, but also for consumers, be it in the B2B world space or the B2C space.
Mm-hmm.
So we are an access platform, making that relationship come together.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was kind of feeling that when I went onto your website. I started doing a little research. I definitely get that sense. And what's nice is that you do give the story, because I think really all of these manufacturers and farmers, they all have a real legacy and story behind them. And it's folks like yourself being able to kind of harness that and group them in a way that allows them, power in numbers. It gives you that ability to have different offerings, but then people can actually try something different from someone else that they've maybe never tried before.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm glad to hear that you were able to pick that up from the website, because we did put some thought into, how do we create the website so that the message and the mission is expressed, right?
Yep.
So our mission value is our mission statement is very, very simple. We have good products from great people.
Right.
And that's how we see everything.
Right.
Good products from great people.
Exactly.
So it's important for us that the like you said, the farmer, the master blender, the tabacaleria, from the people that are the bancheros and so forth and so on, they're highlighted.
Right.
Because we see cigars as an artisanal craft.
Exactly.
I don't know. Now I take that back. There's one place I've seen in Santiago Tamboril area, and it's like a tobacco college. But I don't even know if it's open anymore. But I can't go online and take an online tobacco roller, leaf chooser.
No.
I can't go online and take that course. Nor do I know a place where I can actually go and pay to take that course face to face.
Right.
So this is a you're right on point with that. This is a craft, artisanal, passed down. You have to be in it to learn it, and they deserve the respect for what we enjoy.
Yep.
They deserve the respect for that, and so that's very, very important for us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I agree. I agree totally. Now, are you a conduit too for feedback as well? So as far as consumers or even folks on the B2B level, are they using the website in a way that allows them to give some feedback when they do get product and they do smoke it or whatever, and it gives you an opportunity to, relate that messaging back to the farmers, to the growers, to the manufacturers?
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, because that's something that's important, right? Because it helps the manufacturer to potentially increase their market share by redesigning or redeveloping, or understanding what's working and what's not working, and so all that data is important. I'll say this: we don't have the "your shit stinks" button on our website.
I hope not.
So,
Although I've had cigars that I needed to press that button.
yeah, we don't have that. But what we do have is we have a chat with us,
Great.
live, so it feeds immediately as someone goes in there and says, "Hey, man, this is great," or what have you. And we also have, there you go, exactly, yeah. So if you want more information about a product, or you bought a product and you didn't enjoy it, so the customer service perspective is very, very important. But one thing that we have to think about too is there's a cigar for everybody.
Yep.
A good friend of mine, and you guys know him very, very well. I'll keep his name out, because I don't know if he's like, man, don't put my name out of here. But
I think I know who it is.
you guys know him very, very well.
His name is Oscar. I think I might know him.
You might have frozen.
Frank, you're in and out there. We didn't get most of that.
Oh, that's good. Yes, I hit the mute button.
Yeah, but
Deliberately.
this good friend of mine.
Yeah,
who he told me one time. He said, "Michael, the only bad cigar is the cigar that doesn't sell."
Right.
That's true. True.
So at the end of the day, if you say, "You know what, Michael, I tried XYZ cigar, I didn't like it," man, I'm sorry to hear that. You know what? What's your palate like? Let me hopefully steer you in a way that something you might enjoy. But your friend sitting right next to you,
You can see that. There you go.
Very
I'm gonna put the disclaimer in the bottom.
I don't. That's okay. I talked to Dr. Oscar today, so he's okay with that.
He's one of our sponsors.
Yeah,
Who's a friend of ours
Yes.
too. Great guy.
But he's very, very true.
Yeah.
Because the guy sitting next to you could say, "Man, this is the best cigar I've ever smoked." So one thing that we have to think about when you're dealing with the artists, that's what we call the folks that are doing the blenders.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
They're very, very sensitive about what they create.
Yes.
So who am I to say? I had 2 people tell me your Robusto sucks.
Well,
who am I to say that, right?
right.
What we do try to do though, and some of the feedback. So basically, where we try to give our feedback is to the factories that we work with, is on the B2B side. So if you're a retailer and you're telling me, you know what, man, you know what, I don't really carry Churchills, but I carry a lot of Robustos, and it would be really, really nice if maybe the labels had some easy indicator to, help my staff, tell them that this is this type of wrapper, and which is pretty standard, right? Like a lot of, your bigger manufacturers, they'll use a color on that label. So a great example is Monte Cristo. So like the Monte Cristo red, the Monte Cristo black, the Monte Cristo green. Or no, Macanudo. I'm sorry.
Macanudo.
Yeah.
You know what that is? It's the orange. You know what that is. You know what the green is. You know what it is. So some of those things, when you're talking about a newer marca, they have to understand that somebody's got to sell that cigar in the store, right? And that's one of the things that it's a hard conversation to have with the factory, with the blender, who's been blending for 25 years. She's been making cigars. Everybody's buying them. It's like the Kobe complex. You can't tell Kobe to pass the ball.
Good way. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
You can't tell Kobe to pass the ball. So at any rate, we try to give them some more of the feedback that could help them sell that cigar versus telling them, okay, change the blend or bring out a little bit more spice or add this or add that. I have no idea.
We're dealing with chefs here.
Exactly. But what I can tell them is, hey, maybe you can make the plate a little bit smaller. Make the portions a little bit bigger. So those are the type of things. We just had a conversation with one of the tobaccolarias that we distribute for. So we have OTP in about 13 states. And that's constantly growing, as we continue to expand and kind of understand where our groove is. And so we distribute for them. And so, we came to them. We said, hey, you know what? Have you guys ever thought about shelf talkers? So hold on. Let me make sure this thing stays lit.
Yeah, you don't want it to go out on you. I know what happens when you talk a lot. I know that's usually Ronnie's problem, but we learned that muzzling works too.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't help it, man. It's in the blood with these 2 fools in Florida. If they don't joke or try to make me a butt of a joke, their night's ruined.
Exactly.
Well, you are.
That's only because they love you, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of love going on. Absolutely.
Yeah,
don't feel it, but it's still love.
Exactly. So yeah, we came to them and said, you know what? How about some shelf talkers? Some of the stores that are carrying your product are saying that it's moving, but it's one of those things where like somebody has to get caught by the packaging,
right?
And the tobacconist or the salesperson that's there, they don't know enough about your product to really speak to it. So create a shelf talker, and that's a pretty standard thing,
right?
To have something that talks about the leaf, the origin, and maybe some kind of strength indicator. So now we have shelf talkers. So things like that are kind of some of the inputs that we, try to help some of the tobaccolaires that we work with kind of expand. So
That's really cool.
It's a very good idea.
Now you'll actually help them produce the shelf talkers. No.
No.
Not getting involved in it.
All right, let's talk about the
No. Yeah. We just give them the suggestion.
Gotcha.
You know. So we have another tobaccolaire that we worked with, and we were like, you know, this particular Vitola shape and size is a little difficult for some of the store owners to bring in because the price point is a little bit high for a new cigar, you know. And on average, there's kind of like that sweet spot, $10 to $12. You know, that's really kind of
the average.
You know,
Yeah, that's pretty much average.
Yeah.
Once you
Nationwide.
start mixing that up, then becomes a little more difficult.
Right. You know, it blows my mind because I just smoked a cigar earlier today. It retails for $15, and it's a Robusto.
Right.
And it's a skinny Robusto. I would call it a petite Robusto.
Wow.
About a halfway in it, I threw it out the window.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That bad or just in, you know, I mean, again, bad.
Like I said, let me go back to my first comment. Everybody's taste is different. Somebody smokes that thing till it burns their fingers. Right. But for me, I pitched it.
Right.
I lit up a cigar that retails for $6, and I sent the picture to like 5 guys. I was like, "You gotta smoke this $6 cigar. It's crazy."
Yeah.
So, damn, I forgot where I was going with that.
We have one of our trusty listeners, Kafie, who says maybe a better POS system with some type of loyalty app for an upsell.
Kafie, do you work in IT or marketing or something like that?
Yeah, she does. She helps us, and she's family, literally family. She's Ronnie's sister-in-law.
Hey, Ronnie's sister-in-law.
I think Kyle's trying to get her on so she can answer all these questions.
She's spot on with that because we do have, I forgot what the hell it's called, but it's a plugin. It's 2 plugins.
Talk tracks?
No, I can't remember what it's called. But there's a technology term in the e-commerce space that for when somebody is getting ready to leave a site, they can sense that cursor movement. And if you go from one page to the next, a pop-up will come up. And you guys get it all the time. You know, you're shopping for something, you're like, I don't want that. And all of a sudden you see, if you buy it now, don't leave 10%, right?
Right.
Or you didn't put in any information, you didn't put in your email, you didn't put in a phone number, you did nothing. And all of a sudden, you get an email from that company that says 10% off. You're like, wait a minute.
Correct.
I didn't put in nothing. Or sometimes you even get something in the mail that says, hey, 10% off. So we have that kind of technology where if somebody if it senses somebody leaving, it'll do that. And then we have a like she was saying, Kafie, like it's not necessarily a loyalty program, but we have 2. And I think it's 10 days after the first purchase, you get an email, and I think you get like a 10% off, come back.
Right.
And then I think there's another one that comes out like 30 days later. Hey, we haven't seen you for a while. So it's the same, you know, kind of standard type stuff that you get from other places. So
right. And actually, Brian,
by click funnels, is that what you said? Click funnels?
A click funnel.
Is that what
Brian actually from Oliva, the new Oliva shelf talkers have QR codes that explain the cigars right on the QR codes.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. You can
check it out.
Oh yeah, see right there. Wrapper.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, Ryan, that's becoming standard, you know. And the power of the, you know, I say this all the time. Consumers now have so much information.
True.
And I know there's a lot of like cigar groups online, and you know, there's a lot of influencers, and well, they call themselves influencers, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of this stuff going on, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes they can move people in one direction or the other.
Yes.
But there's so much information out there that if this cigar put up Sin Eric, all of a sudden people are online, oh, what is this on their phone? So that kind of stuff, the QR codes they're magic.
Right. I agree.
They're magic. Yeah. Any way that you can get the information out there simpler, quicker, that's it. Now I think one of the biggest challenges that some of the markets have, or they go way over the top. So this cigar I was just telling you about, that's $15 retail. That's a little bitty ass Robusto.
Right.
I'm not going to say the name of it because I'm not that kind of a guy that
Sure, yeah.
I won't say, hey man, you figure it out for yourself. You try it and you smoke a $15 little Robusto and you say it's shitty. You're like, oh, that's the one Michael was talking about a couple of years ago.
Well, you know what's great is what I love about the open market, and it's just, listen, if it speaks to you, great, you'll buy it again. If it doesn't, you won't, and that's okay.
Yeah. And that's why we have the access to for the B2C, because there's all these great markets out there, and some of them may never make it into a store in the United States.
Right.
And because there's forces at play behind that,
lots of forces.
From the factory to the store, there's a ton of things that go in there, and even sometimes from the farm to the factory, there's a ton of things that go on there.
There's pressures that are put on tobacco, access to tobacco.
Access to tobacco is huge.
That's big because the big guys are I'll call it hoarding the good tobacco. Not that there's bad tobacco, but there's premium
tobacco.
Yes.
Really aged stuff that is harder to get. So that sourcing becomes a very big problem for folks. It's nice when you have a farm that can produce multiple types of tobacco and also source it from other countries, which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you spoke on some pretty heavy things there, because tobacco is just like any other input for a product. Right. So we see it now at the pump. We see it now at the grocery store. We see it now in our everyday spending.
Yep.
Because the products, if it's not the end product or an input for the end product, is globally sourced. So by the time it gets to the actual place where they put it together, they don't have it, or it's backlogged, right? So that's the same thing with tobacco, right? And that's something that we don't really think about. I mean, we don't smoke an Arturo Fuentes and be like, well, I wonder how hard it was for them to get this sun grown here.
Right.
We don't think about that, right?
Yeah.
So if you think of a conglomerate, like a Arturo or Davidoff, the tobacco production is also affected by the conditions of the climate.
Yes.
So rain, elevation, sun, so forth and so on.
And political climate in whatever region that you're. That's also there's
that can have an effect on, but just the sole growing part of it, right? Just the singular growing part of it. So if you have already, kind of sourced that product from that one place, and they have a bad crop, then you have to think about where else you go. So tobacco now is coming from Paraguay. It is coming from Africa.
Yep.
It is coming from, and they're growing Ecuador. They're growing Haiti. They're growing different varietals in those regions where they haven't. Those varietals don't normally grow there.
Exactly.
I'll say they don't normally grow there. They have not traditionally grown there.
Exactly.
They haven't promoted themselves as one of the players now. You mentioned Africa. My God. that what's coming out of there and what's going to come out of Africa is something amazing. We have a good friend Ishmael from BAMF. The stuff that he's coming out with. Bob and I tried his Puro the Africa about a year ago, and it was spectacular. I mean,
it was literally it's the only pure African sourced cigar. And it was something really special and very, very unique because you couldn't really identify the flavor profile because
there's nothing to compare it
there's
to.
nothing to compare it.
Your palate had never seen it before. Your palate had never tried it before. You were like,
You're like, whoa, what's this?
You had smoked 3 or 4 or 5 of them for your palate to even start to say, okay, I think it's this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, even last summer when we were at the PCA, we met up with the boys from Haiti, the Haitian tobacco. There, that whole cigar.
Yep.
Each one of us was blown away at how powerful and flavorful that cigar was. Coming out of Haiti, and we'd never heard of these guys before until then, and it quickly became one of our favorites of the show that last year. So.
Well,
that's the beauty of
it's
this
a weed that can grow anywhere.
Space. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Bob, say that again.
Is a weed, and it can be grown anywhere that can accommodate that. Has that climate that accommodate that weed. There's lots of countries that we never even heard of, and that's always been there. Just hasn't been used.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's what you're seeing some of the larger factories start to see and say, okay, we've got to start making investments in other countries. And I'm not going to speak on who's doing it, right? I've been fortunate enough to travel to these different countries, these tobacco producing countries, and to meet with these farmers, that are doing these things. I'll never say the name of the factory that's doing that, but I can say this: there are major factories, companies out here, major companies, cigars that we know, smoke and love, that are making tremendous investments right now in other countries to start sourcing tobacco.
Right. Let me ask you, Michael, you were just recently in Colombia, and I don't know if it was personal or business, but while you were there, I would imagine you investigated the tobacco industry. Did you see anything growing or something new or something you can relate or tell us?
So actually, I was there for business.
Okay.
That's in case my wife is listening.
We got your back, brother. We got your back.
All business.
I can't see her in the chat anywhere. It is all business. Seriously though, I was there meeting with some coffee companies. That's the next phase for the Leaf Society.
Nice.
That's perfect. That is
cigar and coffee go hand in hand.
One of my favorite pairings is coffee and cigars. I think it's a natural pair that just belong together, and it's just like a good bourbon or a good scotch or whiskey or rum. Just a different time of day. And it's
complement each other like you wouldn't believe.
Yep.
Well, how many times you smoke a cigar and you say it has a taste of coffee in it? It's present.
And you know what? We are so deprived of good coffee. It's ridiculous.
That's true.
Because the coffee blends, they are like you were mentioning a time of day. And I'm assuming that you said that because maybe you don't drink coffee at a certain time of day because maybe it makes you tired or maybe it gets you too geeked up. I don't know. Some people, they quit drinking coffee at 12 or some people drink all day. It has different effects. But literally, coffee is almost the sensatory drink that to me, this is to me, it's almost like different ways CBD can affect you.
Very true.
Yeah.
So if you want to feel this way, here's CBD. If you want to get rid of this, here's CBD. If here's some CBD, like a medicinal.
Right. Yeah.
So like mainstream coffee that we get, I'm not a barista or anything like that. But from what I learned, there is coffee that you could drink at 2 o'clock in the morning and go right back to sleep.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because it's not there to be like it's not that's not the purpose.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, there's coffee that tastes like a what is it, like a port wine after dinner, like a port, like a really thick sweet port wine.
Mm-hmm.
There's coffee that has those types of characteristics and attributes too. So, but to answer your question though, I did not get an opportunity to smoke any Colombian cigars, but however, there is a guy there, and I was leaving on a Thursday, and he was going to meet up. He was going to bring some cigars to where I was at on that Thursday, but I had a flight and I couldn't meet up. I didn't get to smoke them, but what I was told is that at one point in time, Colombia was pretty heavy in tobacco growth.
Right.
But coffee seemed to be the crop where they were making the most money.
Yeah.
Right.
So they just kind of said, all right, no more tobacco, let's do coffee. But there are a few Colombian tobacco farms, but nothing like, Nicaragua or
right.
Dominican.
Yep.
Well, I still remember the commercials from way back in my youth with Juan Valdez and his donkey coming to the window.
Absolutely. Juan Valdez is a fictitious person, right?
Yeah. Juan Valdez.
Oh no! Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry. For all you guys that still believe in Santa Claus, Juan Valdez is not real.
He's the coffee club.
Actually, he is real. He lived around on the same block as my grandmother, the guy who played him. He's a commercial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just that you can make anything on TV. Like Frank is the most what's that? The most amazing man in the world. Frank, remember that post?
Most amazing. No.
The
most interesting man.
The most interesting man in the world.
Who was that? I forgot that beer commercial.
Yeah,
the guy with the beard.
Yeah, I don't drink all the time, but when I do, what was that? What beer was that?
Dos Equis.
That's right. I don't drink all the stay thirsty, my friends.
Yes.
Yep. And he
wasn't kind of made me want to be suave like that. Like, yeah, man, that guy's smooth with that Dos Equis beer.
He was.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you short, but we're going to come back. Quick, I know Ronnie's thinking this, and
actually, just before you do, let's say hello to Dr. Oscar Rodriguez. He's on the air.
It wasn't me.
There he is. We were talking nothing but great things about
Dr. Rodriguez.
100 years of family in the
140.
140, 141. Yes, indeed.
Ronnie's not good with numbers.
No.
Let me say this too. I'm not going to disclose, but Doc has something on the stove cooking.
Ooh.
He's always cooking. He's always cooking.
He got something on the stove cooking, y'all.
Well, when we get him on,
I can't wait.
We got something on the air. We'll cooking, y'all. Yeah, it's like when you walk down the street and you smell it. You got something on the stove cooking, y'all. All I'm gonna say.
And with that,
we
Frank,
have we have a first timer, a Chicagoan. Shout out to Chicago first timer. We got Colbert Smith saying hello.
Hello,
how are you, Colbert.
Chicago in the house.
Absolutely. All right, Frank. Let's take sponsors. Let's go it.
This industry is steeped in family and tradition. There's generational stuff, and I see it over and over, and yet, no, I didn't come from that. Being the outsider looking in, I got to ask all the silly questions, and people were very accepting to want to give me all the right answers. I'm very thankful for those people who kind of allowed me to come in. Now with Alec and Bradley in the business, to have our company become generational, that's pretty cool.
Cigar in the Bottle is 2 palate-pleasing gifts in 1. A specially blended Grand Pommier XS VSOP cognac is elegantly contained in patented numbered bottles. Winner of back-to-back medals at the LA Spirits Awards, Cigar in the Bottle inventor Forbidden Johnny teams up with Vartan and Hendrik Kellner for this custom-blended Vartan Reserva cigar, well-preserved in a hand-blown glass chamber featuring Bovita two-way humidification.
This is Phil Morgan, General Manager of Missouri Meerschaum Corncob Pipes in Washington, Missouri. Our mission since 1869 has been to produce great smoking pipes that anyone can afford. We guarantee our pipes won't be your most expensive, but they just might be the ones you smoke the most. At Missouri Meerschaum Company, we don't just sell our corncob pipes, we grow them, make them, and smoke them. Missouri Meerschaum, Washington, Missouri, since 1869.
At Norwood Royal Cigars, we have the biggest walk-in humidor in the Midwest. Our 1,500 square foot humidor is home to almost 4,000 different cigars that will meet the need of any cigar enthusiast. We have boutique blends to the more traditional selections and everything in between. From the novice beginner to the aficionado, the knowledgeable staff at NRC will find the perfect cigar for you. Located on the northwest side of Chicago, we want to be your shop for all your cigar wants and needs. As always, at Norwood Royal Cigars, light it, smoke it, love it.
And we're back.
Hey, and a quick shout out. We got another first timer, Brian Reeder. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming by, stopping in.
We're going to get Brian. I'll be talking to him. He's got a cigar line. So we'll definitely make contact with him and see what we can do with him, Brian. Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. Big shout out to Joe and the Paisans.
And you know what happens a lot of the times, these first timers usually end up winning the Chooch question.
There is.
We have a lot of
everybody's going to stay on. We got a double prize tonight for a single winner.
Ooh.
Wow. Yes.
Wow. A lot of people from Chicago tonight.
I know.
Yeah.
We got the
Chicago is happening. Michael Lewis is bringing them on.
Chicago in the
weather.
There we go.
Because they can't go outside.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful night tonight.
Like 40 degrees. It's the warm weather.
Yeah, heat wave.
Or no, actually, Xfinity is actually not. They don't have an outage right now, so. You know.
Oh, okay.
That's all I like you guys. Xfinity in Chicago. There's something about Xfinity in Chicago.
Hey guys, I'm just going to let the people know what the gifts are for tonight.
Sure, we could do that.
Smoke the Chooch. So in honor of our guest that's sitting in the audience out there from the Chicago Pipe Club,
let them see
there we go.
Ronnie.
Our president Tim Garrity.
Oh, nice.
A nice little pipe tonight. He's thrown that in the mix. All right. And
also put anything in that pipe, correct?
No.
You can put anything in there.
I can put anything in there.
Oh.
It could be the brown stuff, the green stuff, whatever you want to do.
You know? Pipe and smoke it.
I love what he said. Mi hermanos, always great to come home and listen to the family. Make no mistakes, Great Lakes is the real deal.
Thank you.
And we got a great shirt here. I think you guys are going to really like it. You can look at that one.
What's that one? I can't see.
Up a little bit. There you go.
Wow, nice.
Up a little bit.
Very nice.
There you go.
American Rebel.
There it is. Nice.
Pretty cool, huh? Not bad.
Ron is the rebel without a cause.
What's that?
I said Ron is the rebel without a cause.
I was saying Ron's
Ron's
got to work on his Vanna White skills. He's like,
well, that's what you're there for. I can't see, you know. So we got two wonderful prizes tonight on Smoke the Chooch. So anyway, Michael.
In case you don't know the inside part of the Chooch and what it all means, Chooch in Italian is jackass. So during during that segment, I kind of stumped these guys because nobody usually has the answers for my trivia history questions. So
we do pretty good.
You do pretty good because I've made it easier for you.
Oh, what a cousin. My God. Unbelievable. Full of shit, if you ask me.
Michael, I have a question for you. So, taking these trips to the different factories and going to the actual farms, what were some of your takeaways from each visit? You know, going there as a first timer and then as time progressed and as your knowledge increased, what were your takeaways as you visited each farm?
Yeah.
And the Baccalaureate.
Yeah. So the first, couple times you go, just like everybody else, you're overwhelmed.
Right.
You're just like, wow, especially if you get a chance to go to a big one. You don't realize how much cigar is a manufacturing business. How much making cigars is it's a manufacturing business. It's like Henry Ford and the manufacturing line. I mean,
Right.
you see it coming in from the pilones and on and on and on and on and on until it goes into the box, right? So that was like, wow, I did not realize. I mean, this is an actual manufacturing process, right? The farming piece of it, I will say this: it's probably not quite as technologically as you would but how technological is farming? I don't know. I'm not a farmer, I can't say. But a lot of it from the farming side, you just have to have done it for a long period of time to know what makes a good leaf and how to grow a good leaf and when to pick it, when to dry it, when to hang it, when to add more heat, when to take less sun off of it. So the farming part of it is just like the knowledge that these guys have in their mind about farming. There's no other way to get that than you have to grow up on the farm. There's just or work on the farm. There's no book. There's nothing that's going to teach you that.
Hey Frank, I'm sorry to interrupt. Frank, do you have music in the background going on there?
It's been on since beginning.
Yeah,
Ronnie.
it's been on. It's been on very low back there. We're listening to jazz. It's very nice, relaxing. Bob is having some problems with jitters. So this is soothing.
Jitters?
He was worried about today's episode. He was nervous.
Yeah,
I can lower it though. It's a little bit louder.
I had that effect on people.
What is it?
When you're in the presence of greatness, sometimes it's like
there you go.
I would give you my autograph, but I'm not there. So relax. I'm a normal person. Relax. I put my pants on the same. Now I'm
Well, he's retired, Bob, so he has someone else pull the pants up on him. What can
hopefully she's cute.
There you go.
Yeah. So I like how you said as you get more knowledge and your knowledge increases, because I'll say this: I don't think you can ever get enough knowledge.
Oh, no.
I don't think you can ever get to a point and say, you know what, I think I know everything there is to know about. I think you'll never have a Forrest Gump moment. That's all there I have to say about that.
Absolutely. You
I
have
don't
to
think
learn.
you'll ever have that with tobacco. And that is really what the fire is, right? That's why we do what we do. That's why we're in this, because we're always looking for something else to learn. We're always looking for another great. It's almost like an addict. You know what? We ought to.
Absolutely. What's the next fix?
You should have another part of this show for people that really need to have a what do they call it when there was a show on TV where people were alcoholics, whatever, and they had intervention. Another part of your show should be the intervention.
Well, we might come up with that one.
Well, but we don't want the intervention. We want more knowledge. Like
exactly.
We are always thirsty.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're already addicts. We just want to know more.
Like, just on the corner, like, man, you got a mac and noodles.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got some tobacco, man.
Yeah.
What about the
Ladies never do anything, man. Yeah. But seriously though, I'll say this: what I did do, or what I have gathered, is a better understanding of the process. So when I go into other factories, I see things that are different. Not necessarily they're bad, but they're different. or I see some things that are missing. And so those little things, I have a better understanding now. But the cool thing about when you see things that are different, it makes you say, well, why do you do that different?
Yeah.
And that's where the knowledge comes from, right? So I was in Nicaragua, and one thing that I'll say about a lot of and Doc can probably speak to this better than I can, but when you're rolling, everybody kind of knows this. They call them couples. And so you have somebody that is the banchero, and then you have the other person who's putting the capa on. And a lot of places will bunch with the machine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that. It's like buying flour that's already sifted and sifting your own flour.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all based off of what the chef prefers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But those are the type of little things that you see when you get a better understanding. And some people, they don't pick it up. They're like, oh. So I went to this factory and they're taking me through, and I'm just thinking in my head, like, man, I wonder. And I love it because everybody, when they're taking you through those factory tours, they're really, really proud. And, it's like showing off their baby,
Yes.
And I love it, right? But sometimes you're like, okay, I've seen that before. So you have to stay humble, right? You have to stay humble. But also you have to stay, okay, even though I've been down this before, I want to see if there's something. And so I picked it up and I was like, you know what? You guys don't use a machine. And they were like, whoa, you're like the first person that noticed that.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned about, the knowledge and the research. We know that now, especially in the boutique cigar industry, when we talk about this a lot, but you kind of brought it up, that the boutique farms or in the factories, they do more research on the soil and more on the growth of the leaf and how to do it, because right now you're in competition with everybody, and it's like 300 boutique cigar companies that you know of, and there's so many more out there that you don't know. If you make a bad product, it's very easy for somebody to let's go to the next one, and they don't give it a second chance. People get fed up and they move on. So it's really, really I guess a lot of competition out there to make sure you put out the best product. So yeah, they are doing a lot more research. There's a lot going on into the soil. Is it up in the mountains? Is it down by the sea? There's so much going on. So they have become scientists in their own way, and they're all fighting to be the best and keeping you as a consumer. And it's not an easy thing to do right now, especially when you have so many big boys out there working and doing so much for the smaller companies that they also have on their line. It's a lot. There's a competition is big out there.
And
one last question. Once we get I'm always interested in a good story, and a story from somebody that you met there that surprised you. Someone who may have been a farmer or a banchero or a roller, someone on the line or the blender, something that you'll take away and say, wow, that story touched you in a way that was very different than,
something personal.
Something personal.
Yeah. So you should have prepped me for that question. I might have been able to come up with like a really awesome story, but just like off the freestyle top of my head.
Yeah.
I met this guy, and I'm not gonna say his name because
that's okay.
I think even now to this day he'll do like a vanity cigar. So if you take a trip to Santiago and you want to come home with the RnA cigar, the big RnA.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah, that might actually be a big seller, right? It's going to be the next PCA highlight sponsored by Drew Estates.
Oh, I have to talk to Jonathan myself.
Yeah, and say, man, he's got the big R coming out. But anyway, so he's the guy that he works in that space. you can call him up or get up with him. Say, hey man, I want 10 boxes and blah, 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 and he'll make them for you, right? And he's a guy that so in Tamboril, there's like these little country like little really pueblos. I think that's what they call them, pueblos, and they're like these little villages, so to speak, kind of in the mountains, right? And this guy came out of the mountains, I think, when he was, pre-teens, to start working in the factories to help, his family, try to make ends meet, right? So I met up with this guy, not to buy a vanity brand, but just when you're looking for boutique cigars, you turn over every rock. You just have to, right? You don't know what's out there. So just doing that, and he had a factory that people would let him come roll the cigars there, and just the humbleness of this man, a young guy, seeing him, trying to make it. He wanted to try to create his own brand, but just didn't have the capital, didn't have the connections, a lot of those things. So he's, working part-time, rolling for another factory, and then doing his vanity stuff on the side. But very little English. He had one of his friends there to help interpret. But for me, what stuck is the fortitude of this young guy. No formal education, to say, you know what, man, I don't give a shit. I don't speak the language. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have that. But guess what? I'm gonna get out here, and he's a phenomenal roller. The guy, the place that he rolls from, we help, we distribute some of their cigars, and he's a phenomenal roller. The dude is bad, right? So just the fortitude, the humbleness of this man, really stuck with me. So I bought some of this. I bought some cigars just because of that. Right. So that's just kind of just thinking quickly. That's something that really stuck with me on one of my visits.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So how can people get involved with Cigar Society? I mean, is it the Leaf? Is there
Ronnie will figure it out. What time is it? It's time to drink.
Exactly. You got usually 10 more minutes to get through this, Ronnie. Slow down.
We're all there. How can people get sign up and do all of that?
With the Leaf.
So reach in your wallet.
That's right. Pull out your credit card.
Your debit card or credit card. No, seriously, for everybody, B2C, leafsociety.org, 24/7, hop on. We've got probably about 39 products right now. We're adding more. But I'm going to say this. Where for us, where it's different, we don't get into the Rudy Fruity brand. So you're not going to log on to leafsociety.org and find the flavor of the week.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
We deal with boutique cigars that are doing it the right way.
Exactly.
So if you don't have your own straight line to tobacco, we're probably not going to carry you.
Okay.
Yep. If you don't have your own factory, we're for damn sure not going to distribute your cigar.
Right.
And if we can't go and see where you do how your stuff is made, it's definite hell to the no.
Right.
So what makes ours a little different is when you log on to our website, there's a whole due diligence process of what's on that website. We didn't just go buy this from somebody because it had a cheap ass price and nobody knows about it. So all of a sudden, woo, that's not what we do. So we're promoting, like I said earlier, it's good products by great people. So when you're on the website, you can feel 100%. Now, we do have one particular marca. He does a line of cigars about every year, and it's called Bundle Fever. And it's Julian Suede tobacco. I call him, I'm giving him his little shop. He's the mad scientist. He's like my brother from another mother.
Yes.
You know how you've got AJ in Nicaragua doing all these collabs and coming out with this cool one-off kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Yep.
That's a lot of what Julian Suede does. So his family are trained neuroscientists. So he grew up in this family of test and research. So this dude takes a leaf of just a leaf of varietal, just pulls it up and smokes it. And it's like, oh man, almost like grandma used to take something and be like, well, let me put a little of this in there and see what that tastes like, and a little bit and that's what he does. And he creates these bundle fevers, but they run every year. So it's not like, okay, this is called, booty, duty, whatever. And we've got 100 boxes of it, and once it's gone, right? Yeah. That's not what we do. So when he does his bundle fevers, so he's got like, I'll say School Bus 2 edition is out now, but there was a 1.
Okay.
He does a Mad Love. There's a Mad Love 3. It's a 3rd edition, so you will get them again.
Okay.
So he's the only one that we really work with that does something different like that. Okay. But it's something that you will get every time. They just did a collab with Claudio Scroy. I don't know if you guys know who Claudio is.
No.
Yeah, so Claudio was the president for the Nicaraguan Tobacco Association.
Okay.
He's an Italian guy, master blender, head master blender for Mombacho, right? Okay. Great guy. Great blender. So they did a collab called the Chinquitera. Cigar Journal just did a write-up on it when it came out, but it's 5 tobaccos from 5 different countries blended together. Now that is a one-off.
Yeah.
That is a one-off. But he does one-offs where it's not just like, okay, we just picked this tobacco up off the ground and we got a really cool ring we're gonna put on it and put a lot of marketing behind. That's not what he does. It's a concentrated, thoughtful, strategic process of creating that one thing.
Okay,
gotcha.
So that's the only one they find. So when you log on to leafsociety.org, everything up there, you can feel confident that you're buying a quality product. You're buying a product that's been made the way it's supposed to have been made. It came from reputable farms. And in some situations, we even have, like you said before, we have the videos of the people that actually made it. We have a story of the person that actually made it.
Right.
So reach into your pocket if you're able to right now. I don't know if Ronnie is. You've had a little bit to drink. Somebody reach in his pocket.
It's funny. I reached in his pocket. All that came out was moths.
My wife. What can I tell you?
Renegotiate your contract.
With these 3 guys, forget about it. I'll never get anywhere.
I do know who will reach into their pocketbook. Our resident groupie, Bruce. He's probably already on those website and ordered.
He's all over this right now.
Oh man, I love it. So that's for the B2C side.
Right.
The B2B guys, we only distribute for about 4 brands right now. Actually, 2. Because the other 2 we're still in conversation. That's all the story.
Yeah.
So we distribute for 2 in about 13 states. For those, if you do own a retail store, we have OTP. So that means that as long as you have a sales and use tax permit, resale permit, we got you.
Got that.
And we do that on purpose because, coming from the retail side, we want to make it as easy as possible for a business owner to get something new into his or her humidor.
Yes.
So we don't require any kind of minimum spends or so for me, I do retail as well. So sometimes I'll call up somebody, I'll be like, man, I want to get in some of your cigars. I think they're pretty good. I've done my research. Well, you got to buy 15 boxes.
Well,
now for me, it's a different story because I have a warehouse, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. But think about that business owner that's got 150 square foot humidor.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a lot of retail space.
Good
right
luck.
Space is very limited.
Yep.
Good
Space
luck.
is premium. Space is a premium.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good luck. And so that's something that some of these boutique markets need to understand. And again, everybody has a different business model. You got to make your money. And for me, if I was a sales rep and I'm driving, covering 8 states or what have you, and you know what, I'm not spending my time selling 2 boxes because I'm going to make $30, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I get it.
Mhm.
I get it. But at the end of the day, though, you as a store owner, one of the things when I talk to store owners, they always say, you always got guys coming here and asking me for something new. What's new? You got something new? And when I worked in it, man, tell me what's new.
absolutely.
Well, we have this new one by Monte Cristo. and something you got to realize, Monte Cristo. So the great thing I love about boutiques is that the blenders can be true artists.
Right.
They can pick this leaf up and that leaf up, and if it doesn't work, they don't have to worry about any profit. Well, they do have to worry about profit, but they don't have to worry about a stock or an investor or a conversation that they have to have with some C-level executive to say, so they can be very, very creative.
Right.
The bigger shops, the bigger places, they can only go so far off of the pattern.
Right.
You can't as a bigger place go so far off on a production run that doesn't do well. You can't do that.
No.
It's not possible. So
then you're discounting a bunch of cigars that you couldn't sell.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a Davidoff factory throw out?
No.
Have you ever seen a Padron bundle?
Never.
Oh, I wish.
No.
Be nice.
Be nice. No.
Never happened.
Nope, absolutely not.
So when they say, well, this is something new, okay, okay.
Yeah.
But a boutique can say this is something like you've probably never had before.
Yeah.
Right.
They can truly say that.
Yeah.
Right.
So for a store owner, the advantage for us is that we don't require that. Like if you want to get a box of this, a box of that, a box of this, a box of that, guess what? You got 4 or 5 different SKUs in your humidor that when somebody says, hey, I want something different,
boom.
Go for it.
Yeah.
But because we vetted them, if it works for you, guess what? Whatever doesn't sell, get rid of it and bring in more SKUs of that.
Yeah.
So it's a very low barrier to be able to bring something in new to their store.
Yeah, it's low risk.
Exactly. It's a low barrier. It's a low expense. You could put $500, $600, $700 towards different SKUs to find out 1 or 2 of those might work. And if they don't, well, go ahead and take the discount route. And guess what? You might have 9 other boxes setting up there that you got to discount too.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because once you get rid of those that you discount there, the rest of them got to go somewhere too.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So it's easy to work that way because we have the OTP. You don't have to go log into the Department of Revenue in your home state and put all that stuff in there. You get your invoice, the taxes are paid, we pay the state. All you have to do is put them on the shelf.
Yeah.
Everything that we distribute to also has an SKU, has a barcode on it. So it's easy to put into your POS system. So it makes it very, very easy for a business customer, a B2B customer, to work with us as well. And we don't hold credit card information. You know, I mean, you know what, guys? I don't want this to come off as like, man, Michael was just bashing the shit out of people. You know,
no, not at all.
I guess what I'm saying is the pain points in some of these processes for retail store owners are some of this is what we're discussing.
Right.
So you know what? We're not going to have somebody call you up and say, hey, man, give me credit card information.
Yeah.
Or we're not going to send you a form, have you fill it out, all this extra shit, and then get it, and then send you another form, and then you got to worry about your credit card information being with us.
Right.
So we pay a little more for a service that when you place an order with us, it's very simple. Send us an email, text message, whatever, call, whatever. Hey, man, I want to get this.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to send you we're going to put it in our system. You're going to get a digital invoice.
Yep.
All you have to do is give us your license number. It doesn't matter. You know, and in most states, to be honest with you, they don't even ask for, when we report to the state, they don't ask for their license number. They ask for their
tax ID number.
Yep.
So a lot of times we don't even need it. And so sometimes if we don't get it, when we call the state and we report, we say, well, hey man, we just sold 5 boxes to XYZ Cigar Lounge in Indiana, and they'll look them up. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Here you go. And so very, very easy. We'll send you a digital invoice. So it comes to your email. There's a pay now button. You push it, you enter in your own information. You immediately receive an invoice. I'm sorry, a receipt.
Right.
So that way you don't have to worry about, man, you got different people working different shifts. You got a box. And they stocked it. Did they keep the invoice for my records? Because I gotta report that. Shit. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Right.
We get a tax for you. You have a digital invoice in your email box. We do UPS. We actually have the products in the warehouse. We have a humidified warehouse, which is
nice,
very different.
Yep.
A lot of warehouses, they are a true warehouse.
Right.
They ain't got air conditioning. They ain't got
cigars.
Yeah, it's just cigars, right?
Is this out of Chicago, Michael?
Yeah, we did that out of Chicago. Yeah, so we're right here on Peterson.
Nice.
Right on Peterson, yeah, right on West Peterson. Yeah. So we've got a humidified warehouse. So we really try to make it where when the product gets to you, you can put it on the shelf, put it in your system, and you ain't got to worry about nothing.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, beautiful.
Absolutely. That's awesome, Michael. Fantastic. I know Bruce Stark is, as he says, I'm working on it. He's going to be joining. Knowing Bruce, he always takes care of.
I kind of like that bundle.
The Padron bundle.
No, the jungle bundle. I'm going to order that because that sounds really cool and unique. I'm always up for something a little different.
So, now each bundle would be different, right?
Yeah, Bundle Fever. We carry 4 of his, I think. The only one we don't carry is the Piggy Smalls. And that's because, I love that name. And he's got a QR code on his package too, so you can hit it when you get it, and it'll go to his website and talk about it. But we don't carry the Piggy Smalls because that's an exclusive online contract with another place. And leads me to another point. A lot of times, folks, you won't get to smoke a cigar because of the contractual agreement that the marca has. And often, and this is something too for the folks that are trying to get into the boutique space world, there are a ton of distributors and what's the other wholesalers? There's another term, broker, what have you. There's a ton of them out there. And be very, very careful, because when you make your product, you've invested X amount of dollars and you want to get that back as soon as possible, right? That's business.
Sure.
But be very careful when you start to have those exclusive contract conversations, because now you put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
And if that don't work out, so just, something to consider for the folks that want to get into the boutique space, create their own cigar, but also for consumers. There's so many products out there that you won't get a chance to smoke just because of I contacted a guy the other day, really wanted this cigar, but he was like, we have all our stuff go through this one shop in the whole United States.
Wow.
One shop.
Wow.
Now that's great for that shop. And that's something that when you again, another tip for the folks that want to get into the boutique space, you'll go into a shop and they'll say, well, what other shops are you going to today? Hey man, I'm going here, I'm going there. Well, if you sell cigars to them, I'm not going to buy your cigar.
Right.
We've heard that.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Well, I like to have stuff that nobody else has.
An exclusive.
Yeah. Do these cigars sell online? And it's like, come on, man. Every cigar you got in your humidor probably sells online.
Right.
Absolutely.
And as a retail store owner, if there's enough space for everybody.
That's right.
It's like the barbershop, or it's like the church that you go to. You go to this church because you like the pastor, you like the people that are there, whatever has you. Ronnie likes it because they give out real wine. Whatever it is.
Yeah, baby.
Whatever it is. Right? You go to this barbershop because you like the guys there, they show the game, whatever, right? So but as you're driving to your church or your barbershop, you probably passed up 5 other places doing the same thing.
Yep.
So for retail store owners, the mentality of I want to be different, this and that, I understand that. Well, you have to do that a different way. You have to create that atmosphere to make people pass up these other folks to come to you.
That's right.
Or pricing or whatever. So that you have to educate your staff and create that atmosphere, right? But for those boutique guys that are wanting to get into the space, don't fall for that. Don't get yourself into a situation where you're stuck dealing with that one person.
Yeah.
Michael, Brian wants to know, he wants to go to your retail shop. He wants to know more about it, what's going on. Is there a actual shop that people could walk into, or you're strictly on the web? Yep.
Strictly web.
All right. You got that, Brian.
Brian wants, he wants to pick your brain. So Brian is looking to pick your brain. So I'm thinking that
what you dig out.
That's right.
You might be like, what the fuck? Be careful.
Be careful, Brian. That's what he's saying. Anyway, that's great. Great indeed. Only because of time, we do have the Smoke the Chooch segment coming up. Frank, do we have some more sponsors?
Oh yeah, I have more round of sponsors, and I have a little glitch at the end of this, so I'll cut out a little soon, but I'll make it up to Howard.
There's still the remix.
It's the remix. I got the Howard remix, so don't worry, Howard. I'll make it up to you, buddy. I love you. All right.
The Moses, indeed. Take it.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check.
I think we did those already. Let me go here. I screwed all of these up.
Wow.
All right, don't worry.
You didn't even drink much.
That's
tonight.
why. No more sponsors because I think I screwed that up. So, and I didn't even drink too much. So God bless me.
You drink nothing tonight. Wow.
Cheers.
Frankism. Everybody drink.
Yes. We're back. Look at that. All of those sponsors, we're back. That's okay. They still love us. Even though I can screw up once in a while. I'm allowed.
Yeah. No, you're not.
You're going to
I'm going to go into the chooch. So the first thing that I have to do is put out my mating call.
All right.
See, tell that's my mating call, Michael. It's a very important part of the
Frank
segment.
gets all the ladies.
Exactly.
As long as it works.
Exactly. Whatever works. And it all depends on,
It's only crazy if it don't work.
True. So,
Ronnie, tell us a little bit about that pipe we're giving away.
That pipe tonight is from Tim Garrity of the Chicago Pipe Club.
Tell us about the pipe.
Well, it's a Algerian pipe.
Oh, well, it's a pipe.
Nice and clean.
He puts tobacco in it and you smoke
you
it.
can see it. Ronnie's trying to see the pipe.
Let's bring this up here. All right, you see there? You see
Ronnie has short arms.
Yeah, well, among other Ronnie-isms, we got these things going on around here,
Nice pipe.
We like that.
Very nice. And then again, we'll put the shirt up because apparently a lot of people really liked the shirt. And I might be sticking on that one there. It's a great looking shirt.
I do like that.
Okay.
It's sharp, great color too.
We'll get both of those things.
That's pretty
Tonight
good.
we're doing a double. Yes.
Tonight we're doing a double.
All right.
I love that.
So
I like
Frank,
that.
what do you got going?
What do I have going on? I don't know. I guess I should look.
You should.
I'll use my phone to help me through it.
Because I can't see it.
Yeah, Dave, you
Bob
need another
can't see,
pipe.
Bob can't hear. We're just going on.
Be tired, Bob. What are you
All
doing?
right. Now I'm trying to find my truth
Next question's
question.
going to be for us, and then we'll get the big one for the audience.
And you can answer, Mike. You can answer this.
It looks like these are the same that I had for last week, but I have them on my other computer. So Bob, Ronnie, talk to Michael for a second. This is why I love live shows.
And it's a Frankism all over tonight.
Get out of here, Frank. Go get it.
Yeah, go get it. Go get it.
This is the least amount that he's drank in, and I don't know how long. I mean, boy, I thought about screwing up.
He had a very busy weekend, though. I mean, he drank.
We had a busy weekend. We drank a lot this weekend. We must admit.
Well, it's like one of those old adjective things when you have a drunk person. They do something and then they're sober. They can't remember, but you get them drunk again. Now they remember. So you got to get Frank at a certain drunk point so that he remembers all this stuff.
Bad news. But
He
for all
works best under pressure.
You want to drink early? No, I gotta be alert tonight.
Okay. I think Frank got flustered because we had such a powerful celebrity on tonight. He just couldn't hold himself.
No,
He was the nervous one, not me.
Well, he did a nice promo. He was very excited on the promo for you. So
he probably did that when he was drunk. That's the problem.
Yes, he
Probably, and you'll remember.
But in the meantime, just a little reminder for the rest of you: the Chicago Pipe Club will have the show Memorial Day weekend, folks, in Lincolnshire, Illinois. It's a must. There's 60 rooms left out of the 460. So make sure you book your room. It's going to be a powerful weekend. Fantastic show in itself. Bob and I have been attending the show for
I will not be there
17.
this year.
I know.
It's a Memorial weekend, unfortunately.
I know. What can I tell
Somebody's
you?
got to put the jet skis and the boat and the pier in the water. So,
And the rest of us will go smoking.
All right. I'm back. Weird. My phone, by the way, it wasn't really my fault. My phone did not update the next note. So now I have it here.
So it's Apple's fault.
I'm actually blaming this on Steve Jobs.
The poor guy can't defend himself.
Sure. Blame the dead guy.
When in doubt, blame the dead people. Usually the way it works. All right. Okay. Here we go. I'm back, and I actually know what I'm doing at this point. All right. This was on this date in history, March 15th, 2006.
Okay, something recent.
Stockpile of provisions that were made for the survival of residents were found in this city, and they had been, if this city had been hit by a nuclear attack, and it was found in the masonry foundation of the Brooklyn Bridge. City workers had been conducting a regular structural inspection of the bridge when they came across the Cold War era hoard of water drums, medical supplies, survivor blankets, drugs, and food. So, what city did they find this?
New York.
City.
You just said
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, so.
Yeah, all right, there you go. All right,
It's the other Brooklyn
it's
Bridge.
the other Brooklyn Bridge.
The one
Under
that's
this bridge. I thought
That's the one I just bought.
I'm usually not this.
Wow, man. Oh, man.
I like Frank's test.
Holy
I
cow.
need to drink more.
You need to drink more because you're more together when you drink.
Frank, yeah, you need to get wasted more. Wow.
Forget about that one. That was a
Over the
little.
ages here.
That was a little.
Hey,
fun
Frank, just to
movie.
let you know, Frank's Kathy said, "What the f?" I'm confused.
Listen,
Kathy,
no.
Frank is confused.
Yeah.
Put it to that way.
Michael, I'm going to give you the real reason why I screwed up so poorly tonight. Was Ronnie visited me this past weekend, and he screwed me for the next month. So,
Blame it on me.
just here, and also Kafie and her husband. So that's why I'm all out of sorts.
Wow.
I
You
wasn't
were out of sorts, all right.
all right.
Oh,
All right.
he's an
Yeah,
excuse.
First it was Steve, now it's Ronnie.
Oh, man.
all right, let's go to 2004. All right.
Hold it. Give us the answer first. And
I'll
then,
give you the
and
answer.
then repeat.
All right. All right. This famous
Frank, that hit the top. All right, that really hit the top.
person was convicted for insider trading in 2004 in this state in history.
Oh, she's a cook, isn't she? Martha
I'm not
Stewart.
going to tell you. I
Martha
already
Stewart.
Martha Stewart.
I already gave you the answer. Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to 1998. This is a good question. I think people might enjoy
98.
this.
All right.
98. This movie actually surpassed Star Wars to become the highest grossing film in North American box office history.
98.
Titanic.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
There you go. All right, Kyle. Yeah, you know, you're figuring this out. I like it. Okay, one more. And, one more, and then we're going to the audience because tonight I'm tongue-tied,
Titanic.
mess, and
Drink.
all right.
Drink.
Drink. Here we go. We're gonna drink.
Don't screw this one up now.
Even Bruce said it's definitely
Yeah. Well, you know what? Tonight it's all about bridges, it seems. So on this date in history, 1957. Okay. This bridge actually did a search.
The bridge did a search.
Yeah, the bridge.
The bridge.
Google.
They did a search in 9 countries for the most photogenic girl. What bridge did they want the girl to represent during the 20th anniversary? This was in 1957.
The bada bing.
1957.
They did a photogenic search for a female in 9 countries to be kind of the face
the Hellgate Bridge
of the
Golden Gate.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Gate.
Golden Gate Bridge. There you go.
Teresa had it. Yeah, she typed it.
Yeah.
She typed it a while ago.
Why? Brian's going why. Brian said what?
Kathy, WTF.
What Let's go to the audience because forget about what you're picking for us.
All right. I'm not going to pick one up. This is for the audience. I'm going to give them a little visual cue to help.
Don't give the answer away.
I'm not going to give the answer away. Don't worry.
Oh, Michael, excuse my cousin. He's a lost soul tonight.
Tonight I'm a lost soul. They're actually replacing me next week. I heard they're bringing in another fool.
The truth. The truth is going to do it.
The truth is going to be there.
It's going to be Bob's going to be sitting next to an actual donkey.
Well, he is as a
All right, here we go. All right, folks, ready for cue that beautiful music that you have to accompany me here, Kyle. I will help.
Me.
All right. On March 15th, 1986, the Bangles were at number 2 on the charts with Manic Monday. a song written by a singer-songwriter under the pseudonym Christopher. Who wrote the song?
Ooh, I like this one. I like it. I like it. Everyone's Googling very vigorously, asking Alexa left and right.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh, I think it's Kafie.
Kafie.
It might be Kafie because if I look at the answer, let me see if that's
Kafie, what did she write? The Pauper? No.
I have another one for you. It's a good one for it's part of this. So
This is to Kafie.
It's everyone.
Oh,
So what?
Don't worry, he'll give the answer away.
What song was actually #1, and it was written and performed by Prince that same year? So he had 1 and 2 on the chart.
Ooh.
See that? Now see if anybody can figure that one out.
Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
Red Corvette? No.
No.
I'm not going to tell anybody.
Teresa was in here, an hour and a half.
Good guess.
Got it?
It was 1999. No.
Cherry, 1999.
No Purple Rain. No.
Purple Rain.
Raspberry Beret. No.
Nope.
No. Come on.
Okay, it's what you do at night before you go to bed with your spouse. You should give them
This is a family show, man. Hey, come on.
Fart was top song for Prince at that year. It was
fart on my leg and say it wasn't me.
Yeah, screw was not correct answer. So Kafie, we're going to take away.
There it is. Colbert Smith.
Yes,
there
you go.
So Kafie, you're going to lose your shirt on that one. For that,
that's what we want. Everybody, thank you.
Well, when the shirt's off, maybe now you can screw.
Let me talk to Tim about that one.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, Mike, we want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. Folks, if everybody has been paying attention, get on board, go to the website and join. And there's a lot of information there. Michael's going to make that website as easy as possible to enjoy everything that he has, and join him. Michael, thank you. Really,
thank you very much, man.
Thank you, guys. I just want to say it's really, really great that you guys do what you do and give a platform for the small guys, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that it takes a village. So everybody from, the podcast shows to the markets, to the consumers, everybody has to be in this together. And high tide rises all boats. So I'm really, really grateful for, getting the opportunity to be on your show tonight. And, guys, just keep doing what you're doing, promoting those guys and gals that are making great cigars, and letting people that enjoy them know about them.
Exactly.
Well, Michael, I don't know if you heard or been following, but there is a big festival coming on. It's called the BCA Festival in Martinsville, Indiana.
That's why guys.
In 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I hope you can be there again.
For sure.
It's going to be bigger and even better. A lot more vendors, a lot more stuff. So if you want any more information, you can get hold of me on PM.
Tell you what I want to do. I would love to come visit Michael's warehouse in Chicago, the humidified.
Well, you got to ask me. We visit the warehouse with you.
For sure.
All right. We'll set that up.
I'm willing. I'm ready.
There you go. Michael, we're going to invite you to stay with the after party if you like to stay on board. And we could have
even more off the rails.
Hey, guys, it's been great, but the bed is calling me.
I hear you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks again. All right. Everybody take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
From all of us to all of you, thank you again for your support and love of this show. Spread the word and light them up, everybody.
Hey, before we go, Ronnie, you want to introduce us?
Oh yeah, we forgot that. Don't worry, tonight's show is classic. It goes under the classic category.
We got the Chooch and the Chooch Brigade here.
Good night, everybody.
Take care, Chooches.
Oh.
Many of the cigar brands that we make, they're antique, historic cigar brands. They've been made on and off for about 100 years.
When you're smoking Toscano, you're smoking 206 years of history.
The Italians are here.
We're here. We're in the house. For some reason, we find a lot of Italians on this show.
Listen, I'm a Jersey guy.
Hey,
so,
we won't hold that against you.
We invented this to we want to give people the opportunity to smoke the cigar at the optimal level.
The Chooch Cigar.
Can you believe it?
The Blanco 9 Chooch.
¿Cómo va? ¿Está bien?
¿Qué dice? ¿Cómo está?
Finally, I can answer the question. Anything new?
Yeah.
And we have some cool new stuff from Oliva.
This is a passion for me. It's not a job.
Your love and passion for this is,
I love it.
Unbelievable.
That's why we can make pipes out of this variety of corn.
11 years ago, I went back. I bought the rights to everything La Polina.
Sure, it's family.
And restarted the brand again as a tribute to my grandfather.
It's nice because you get to see a lot of your friends. You got to remember, I've been doing this for 30 years, so a lot of these people are like family.
Build a platform where we could celebrate boutique cigars.
Leave Starlight House blend for one store in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Join forces of pipe tobacco and
superheroes.
I always look forward to the Super Bowl of events, and I always looked at the trade show as just one of those things.
We're not just selling cigars. We try to live our lives, and we use this as a means to share our stories and to really create community.
Hold on, man. Wow, that was wow. Now you got me.
Tell my brothers to line them up. We'll drink that whiskey from those old dirty cups. We'll toast to the present, the future, and the past. This ain't my first drink, but it ain't my last. 'Cause this world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining.